Hi guys, I'm Richard now from MySportsStop.com here today with Brett Burke to talk about the Chicago White Sox, a team that has finally embraced rebuilding, have moved on from Adam Eaton and Chris Sale. The return that they got between the two of those guys, Yoan Moncada, Lucas Giolito, Reynaldo Lopez, and Michael Kopech. What can we look forward to from these guys coming back?
That's a full load they got in return. Obviously, giving up Sale for Moncada and Kopech, giving up Eaton for Giolito and Lopez. Almost like theft there in the Nationals trade in a way because of how good both Lopez and Giolito could be.
Yeah.
Eaton was worth a little bit more because he had five years left on his contract, I believe, for a cheap amount of money. But Yoan Moncada, the number 2 prospect in baseball. When he was traded, he was number 1. Now he's number 2 behind Andrew Benintendi. Benintendi only has like 40 at-bats before he's not a prospect anymore. Okay. So Moncada will be the top player. Kopech, a flamethrower. Pitching pretty well in spring training so far. And then Giolito, a guy that's already had experience in the majors. Hasn't been that successful, but has the stuff and the ability to become a 2 or 3 in the majors. And Lopez, another guy from the Nationals that were loaded with pitching prospects. They really have set themselves up nicely for the future if they can get 2 or 3 of these guys to pan out.
Yeah, you talk about Giolito being a 2 or 3. Over the last couple of years, obviously we saw Chris Sale, no doubt their ace.
Mm-hmm.
But Jose Quintana has been a really good number 2 for them. Kind of that 1-2 punch with Sale. He's solidified himself as a really good number 2, been really consistent. He's now going to have to step up and be their ace until the young guys are ready. Is he going to be ready for that?
Yeah, he already started doing that. He started in the WBC. He went 5 2/3 no-hit before he lost his no-hitter in the first start of the year for him.
Yeah.
So he's already throwing the ball well, and he has a lot of great stuff. There was a lot of teams that thought he might be more valuable than Sale last year because of he's a little bit younger, the contract, and I mean, you can't go wrong with either. They're both good lefties, really good lefties. But if they can lock him up, sign him to a 7-8 year deal that will help him stay with the team throughout at a reasonable cost, the White Sox are in good shape with their rotation in the future, and they just have to hope that Moncada can be that bat to go along with Jose Abreu.
Yeah, and continuing on with their pitching staff, Carlos Rodon, a guy that was kind of not living up to the expectation, but then last year after the All-Star break just took off. Ended up going like 7-3, had a sub-4 ERA. Is this expectation of him now going forward? Is he going to be able to make that jump and live up to the potential that we saw when he first got drafted?
Yeah, I think he definitely can be one of their top pitchers. Obviously, Giolito is going to be the immediate impact on the White Sox here. Lopez might pitch in the majors this year, but Kopech is probably still 2 or 3 years down the road, depending on how careful they want to be with him. But Rondon definitely has the ability and the skill, and it's just translating to the major league level. Quintana is really the only guy they have right now. They could have a pretty decent offense with guys like Todd Frazier and Jose Abreu.
Right.
But outside of that, this team really doesn't have a whole lot of pieces to look forward to.
Yeah, and you talked about Jose Abreu being a big bat to put Moncada with, but Jose Abreu, when he first signed, they really didn't know what to expect. We didn't know that he was going to be this good, but this guy is an elite level talent. One of the best hitters in the game, and he still plays first base. He doesn't necessarily have to DH. He's not necessarily the biggest liability over there. But around that infield, they also have Tim Anderson, who's an up-and-coming shortstop, and Todd Frazier last year, who just hit home runs or struck out essentially. Where does this lineup fall? Is this lineup going to be something that can complement the pitching staff, or do they still have a ways to go?
I think they'll be able to complement a little bit just because of how dangerous Abreu and Frazier could be. Both guys could easily hit over 30 home runs. Frazier's going to strike out like 200 times.
Yeah.
But it's something you can live with. Abreu kind of went downhill a little bit last year compared to what he did to start his career in the majors. But if he can turn things around, get a little more confidence, hit for a high average again, Jose Abreu could be one of the best Cubans in recent memory.
Right.
And Tim Anderson is a really good up-and-coming shortstop. He can hit the ball fairly well, hits for a good average. and he's pretty good defensively as well, and he should be a key part of the middle of that infield as the White Sox go forward and eventually have Moncada at second base.
All right, well, for the White Sox, I have them finishing 4th in the division, only above the Minnesota Twins, 2 teams in rebuilding, but I think with what those Sox got in return, that can, if those guys are ready to go, can push them a little bit up on the Twins.
Yeah, I have the White Sox finishing 4th as well. The Twins, they're just bad. But the White Sox building, it's going to take 4 to 5 years, but
right.
Give it time, Southside, and the White Sox will possibly reward you with another World Series.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Make sure you stop by mysportsstop.com to check out other videos and original content.